Hey, I'm Stephon Odom. I'm a member of Cohort 9, and this is my apartment within the Commodore. I live in the Commodore Duchess, which is student housing provided by the University of Washington. Now, the Commodore is in the U District, and I know I'm not the first resident in this neighborhood. I know there are other members of our cohort that also live here, but it's great because it's a short drop from the studio. Getting to the studio is pretty straightforward. It's about a 7-minute walk from my apartment, and all I have to do is just walk up the hill. Student housing here at the Commodore Duchess is rather unique, and the reason for this is because of the agreement between the University of Washington and the third-party property manager that actually manages this space. Now, what that entails is a separate application process wherein you provide some background information about yourself, you fill out a few forms, and then after you get through that process, you're provided a listing that has all of the available units for rent. So the Commodore Duchess overall, I think, is a pretty great place to live. It's a pre-war building, so it has some of that vintage aesthetic to the actual property itself. It's filled with graduate students from UW, so everyone's friendly, everyone's willing to have brief conversation, good morning, have a great day, that sort of thing. And then the property managers themselves are also very warm, very welcoming, and even have a small dog in the form of Pretzel who is standoffish but incredibly cute terrier. Now, when I came to Seattle, I came with a mission, with an agenda, with a set of priorities: tasting great coffee. Now, around the Commodore, there is no shortage of phenomenal places to get coffee. You have Solstice, which is literally 2 blocks away. The very next block, you have Bulldog. Right next door to Bulldog, you have Cafe Allegra. If you go back up the block, you have Cafe on the Ave. If you make a direct move to the north from there, and then make a left, you have Ugly Mug. It just gets better. Then we continue to walk up, and I guess if you're in, if you need coffee, it's good coffee. It's not, it's good coffee. You could go there. There's Leon Cafe, which is another place to get you a cup of joe. So I think between all of these places, in particular for me as an individual living at the Commodore, it's another nice bonus. One of the pros of the Commodore is that I live alone. I think one big piece for me when I was looking for graduate housing was not having a roommate, and this allowed me to do that in a manner that felt appropriate for my budget. So I think first and foremost, the ability to live independently was a big value add for me. I think another big piece or a big value add for me in terms of this apartment is that it has a dishwasher. There's a laundry on premises. There is a small gym that we have in the basement. Now, it's a small gym. There's not a lot going on in there, but you have a treadmill. You have some light machines that you can do body weight movements with, and there's a pull-up bar, right? So enough to still stay physically fit. Now, in addition to those pieces, it's actually fairly close to a lot of other major landmarks on campus, one of those landmarks being the IMA. And we are actually really close to buses. Like, there are a bunch of different buses right outside my doorstep. So while the IMA isn't something that I'd be super thrilled about walking to every day, it's actually a fairly short bus ride. And those, in my eyes, are great things that I love about the Commodore. Now, it's really great to be by the buses. It's really great to be by the Ave. But sometimes, especially if you're a light sleeper, that might be a little rough. Now, I sleep pretty heavy, so it's not much of an issue for me. But again, if you're a light sleeper, I could see how that wouldn't be the greatest. Now, I said the Commodore was a pre-war building and that it had a certain vintage charm. And it does have that vintage charm, but it also does not have central air. So the summer hasn't quite heated up just yet. June has felt more like January. And this is something I'm eternally grateful for, because I'm very fearful of what's gonna happen here in the summer months. But I do pretty well with heat because I'm from New York and have gone through the last 26 summers without an AC. So I think I will survive. In terms of the last con for the building, I think the last con in my eyes is the gym. It's not a horrible gym. Like, it's not like the worst gym in the world, but if they could have, I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'2". I would just like to be able to touch the pull-up bar and not have my feet hit the ground. But that's neither here nor there, right? If maybe you don't fit that threshold. It could be a phenomenal pull-up bar downstairs for you. But those are my eyes. Those are my eyes of the 3 cons of the Commodore. All right, now that's about it for me. I have some more work to do because we're still graduate students. But appreciate you dropping by. Talk to you soon.